lovely people, it's Caitlin and I hope you are having a spectacular day. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review of The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. If you don't know what The Hate U Give is all about, it follows a 16-year-old girl named Star who lives in a poor black neighborhood but is attending a rich white private school where she is one of 2 black kids in her grade. This book starts with her witnessing her childhood best friend getting shot by a police officer. It follows Star after this event, and you see her struggle between whether or not she should speak up about it or stay quiet because she doesn't want her 2 worlds colliding. So this book was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, and I think it is such an important read. I cannot say that enough. It was so wonderfully written. I don't think I could give any critique to Angie Thomas and be all like, oh, you could do this little thing to make it better. No, I couldn't find any faults with it. It was so spectacularly done. Star is such a great main character. I loved her so much. You just fall in love with her almost right at the beginning because she is just so understandable and so relatable. You see her vulnerabilities and her weaknesses showing because she doesn't know whether or not to speak up for her friend. At her school, she's afraid to act like ghetto because she doesn't want her classmates to see that side of her. Probably my favorite thing about Star is that she calls her shoes kicks, and I just think that is spectacular. I love it so much. It makes me so happy whenever she mentioned that. It's so great, and I think it's like Michael Jordan's and stuff like that, but I don't know much about that stuff. So let's just continue on. I love seeing her and her family also. The family dynamic in this book is so well done. I loved it so much. I think a lot more young adult novels should be more similar to this family because a lot of times you see broken homes and stuff like that, which is important to see, but I love seeing Star's family and how whole and how they build each other up always, and they're always supporting each other. Her mom and her dad were so adorable. When Star describes her parents as her OTP, I almost died because I'm like, oh yes, they are. They're wonderful. They're so wonderful. Her mom is super strict but also really cares about her, which I think is so awesome. And her dad is so loving and caring towards her. The greatest thing about them is that they support Star in her decision no matter what it is, but they have her make her own decisions, which I think is really important to see also, because she has to learn what to do, what she thinks is right. I also loved her little brother Sakani, even though we don't see him very often. I think he is really mischievous and cute and adorable, and I think all these people are adorable. If you can't tell, they're all adorable in my heart, and I love them so much. Sakani, he has a curse jar or a cuss jar, which is really cool because whenever his dad says damn or something like that, he's all like, $1, Daddy. I think it's a really clever idea for him to have because it's just really funny whenever he's in the room and he's all like, $1. And it's just great. Seven, her older brother, is just really protective of her, and I think he is such a great older brother. He does play a major part with Star and her dilemma, and I think that it is really amazing to see him support her along with her parents. So all the characters had so much depth to them. They each had their own unique personality, and it was so perfect. The reason why I call them adorable is because they're close to my heart. They go through so much heart-wrenching stuff, and just the courage that they show is so amazing. Like, each and every one of the characters have at least one moment to show this courage, and they are so brave, and they help each other so much through this journey. It doesn't just affect Star, it affects all of them, and every one of them is so brave and courageous, and it's so inspiring. The plot is basically her and her community versus the police. This book tackles a lot of stuff. It tackles police brutality along with interracial dating, which I think is really cool to see a black person dating a white person, and I loved them so much. They were really adorable, and yes, I'm using that word again because all of the characters in this book are adorable. So this book does have some racism in it because this character named Haley is super racist. I hated her so much. She was so annoying. She is not adorable like any of the other characters in this book. She was aggravating, and I didn't like her, and I was rooting for her to understand and, like, you know, not be racist anymore. Start having to deal with whether or not police is good or the police is bad, or if there's some of both, or because it definitely shows the differences between some police officers and how not all of them are bad and how some of them are, and they take advantage of their position, which is just really, really horrible thing, but it is so true, and I think it is so important that she included that into her novel. So there is this one scene, it's not spoilery, but there is Star, Seven, and another black dude who I'm not going to name because it might be spoilery, and this guy named Chris who is white. And they're all in the car together, right? And they're talking about how white people always want to split up into groups, while black people are like, no, strength in numbers, definitely strength in numbers. And they're just ragging on Chris, and it's so funny because he just lets it roll on his back. He doesn't like call them racist or anything. The last thing I want to mention is Star and her Tumblr. It was so funny because how this book portrays social media and how big of an effect it has on these characters' lives is definitely true to today's society, because it does affect our judgment of people, our decisions, our everything. Okay, so my camera decided to be all stupid and lose the ending of my footage for my videos, so I'm back at you with a different camera angle, and hopefully the lighting is the same. If not, I apologize. Overall, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. If you could not tell, I am obsessed with this book. It's definitely going to be an all-time favorite, and I think anyone can get something out of this book, whether you're a minority or part of the majority like me. I was also able to learn so much about black culture and stuff like that. It was just super interesting, and I love it, and it's great. I recommend it to everyone. Even if you don't like reading, I think it's just amazing, and anyone and everyone should read it. Okay guys, that was my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to click subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!